Hey, good morning, guys. This is Surelog doing this video in the morning time on a Saturday. So it's really nice and peaceful, and just playing some Dwarf Fortress. I haven't done a video, obviously, in a really long time. Not like a real video. I think I'll put some junk up before. But yeah, Dwarf Fortress. What a game! This has come a long way on the Steam version. It is much more accessible than it's ever been before. Um, and it's just way easier to access everything than it was before. They do have the DF hack utility, if you're familiar with it. It is now available on the Steam version as well, and it offers so many cool tools. But I'll just give you guys a kind of little introduction to my fortress here. This is my fortress, and these are my people. And I don't know why I can't ever remember the name of my fortresses. I've had many. This is Astuth. Okay, hold on. Let's try to pronounce this. Astuthkulin. Astuthkulin. And we are the Fencepalms. That's right. And we're the capital. This has been around for a while. So this is the above view. And looking down, we're looking at the first layer. If you're not familiar, this is very similar to RimWorld, except that this game has multiple layers to it. So we're looking at the above ground layer. Just show you what it looks like here. This is the king's quarters on the left-hand side. That's his office. That is his dining hall. That is his bedroom. Kings have to live very lavishly, so you have to build them a nice hall. This has been going on for 7 years, this fortress, so we've come a long way. There's been a lot of story here. We have a little fisherman's guild here, so that they can go fishing by the creek or the brook here. And we got the most poppin' hoppin' club in all the lands. My tavern here, at the top here. The Rough Desert. And yeah, dwarves come here from all over, and they visit. We are currently expanding. We're looking at expanding a few beds here, so that's going to get us some more visitors, hopefully, or at least make the current ones that we have more comfortable. Let's go ahead and put some beds in there real quick for them. Voila. Next layer up also is our straightaways for our catapults. I have catapults up here. If we go one layer down, you'll see that I have walls here. So that is strategically placed in order to, keep the attacks easy. If they want to come through, they got to go through the straightaway, and then they're confronted with a catapult. These have been very successful so far. Really they're more strategic for scaring people away too. When they see a boulder coming at them, they actually freak out. So really good psychological effect. And speaking of psychological effects, I also have a series of corpses out in front. These are all of these are corpses of goblins and evil creatures. So hopefully that when they come through, they see their friends. And again, we're looking for that psychological warfare up, that we can get on them. Down to the south is my farmers area. This is mostly farmers guilds, and right below it I have my animals. They're underground, and the problem with having animals that are underground is you get this fungus, which doesn't allow grass. Grass won't grow there when it's completely covered up. This is not completely covered up, so it's starting to open up a little bit here. You see some grass coming in, but I made it so that we have an opening here for the sky, and that's going to give us some grass that we can then use to feed our animals. Got a little bit of an animal explosion going on here. I have been trying to get them butchered and trying to be a little bit more selective. Unfortunately, I just don't have enough farmers, so we're still battling that. On the left-hand side is my war bears that I was working on. Unfortunately, I'm in the jungle, and this place is near the elves, who have giant animals. And these giant creatures, these giant ravens, this is a dead one, giant ravens and giant wrens have been coming down and flying down and swooping on my animals, which is why I have them covered up here, for example. And I had a little cave covering for them here for my bears. I had two, a female and a male bear, and I was going to breed them to hopefully get a bear army going. Unfortunately, the wrens got in. They scooped in and they killed the mama and the papa bear, but they left the baby bears, or well, we were able to intercept and kill them before the baby bears were killed. Unfortunately, all the baby bears are male, so there's not going to be. Unfortunately, we're not going to have any option or any opportunities to interbreed these. Interbreeding doesn't seem to be a problem in Dwarf Fortress for animals, which is gross. But it's a game. It's going to have some limitations, possibly. But you want to be careful when you say that in the Dwarf Fortress realm, because the developers very well may go in and start developing an entire inbred system or something. This game is just so complicated. You don't want to tempt them on that. So population growth right now, we're at 200. Happiness levels are kind of rough. It's been really rough just because we're in the forest and we're constantly losing dwarves. So you imagine being in an area where you're constantly losing your friends, right? You guys are hanging out, you're drinking, and then a giant raven came in, swooped him up, and then dragged him all the way. Hey, we have travelers coming in. All the way to the corner here. Let's see. I think I got a bunch of corpses. Well, maybe not. Maybe they've been forestified, which can happen to corpses over time. But I've had like 5 or 6 corpses located in the same corners of my world, just being from dropped off from ravens and stuff like that. All right, so we have some traders coming in. Let's take a look. Okay, Ethadot. I think that's a dwarven city. Let's see here. Yep, that's a dwarven city that we're allied with, which is cool. Dwarves are great. They usually bring in a lot of ale and gems and stuff that dwarves like. Elves are really cool if you can make friendship with them, because they bring in you giant animals. And so I have things like a giant cougar. I have a giant crow, or raven, excuse me. Uh-oh, what we got going on here? Probably another bird attack. Hopefully the birds don't attack my traders. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and bring out my archers and just put them on post up here. And then I'm going to have my guards, and I'm going to put them post in front of the traders here. Just maybe offer them a little bit of protection. Unfortunately, if the traders get attacked, that's the end of the trade. And we don't want that. So let's see if we can... Okay. Short story here. We're 7 years in. You'd think I would have a better appraiser for this stuff, but I don't. I just lost my appraiser. He got wet in the year 1000. And when he got wet, it activated an internal rage that he could not ever get rid of. And so because of this internal rage, he was constantly getting into fights with everybody. And I found out about this, so we ordered him to get arrested. And he decided to fight everybody. And while he was getting arrested, and we got him under control or whatever, and we gave him a second chance, but then he got into more fights, couldn't get rid of this rage. So I was like, all right, this guy, he has got to go. He's being a jerk, We can't have that in our civilization. Well, so I send some jailers to come and get him. He needs to be convicted and interrogated again until, or not interrogated, but just convicted. And then he decided to fight my guards, and it's like, look, man, you've done so much damage, so they put him down. So he's gone. R.I.P. Stuckos. Stuckos the appraiser. But the downside is he was my best appraiser. And so now I have no real decent appraiser. I'm basically just going to bring these dwarves gold coins because I kind of know what they're worth. They're worth about 300 pop. And just because my appraiser isn't very good, I know this stuff because I've traded enough. So maybe we'll work something out there. I love this giant cougar. He's actually come into place many times. All right, so that's just the above ground area. We have a lot going underground. That's how we started. So the entrance before you get to the king's entrance, this is where the dwarves work to go underground. First level, there's our animals again. This is our food for our tavern. This is our block pile that we're currently working on. Ooh, hold on, what was that? Oh no. A dwarven child is being attacked yet again. Shucks. Let's see. Let's get these guys home. No, don't attack the... Yeah, attack him. No, attack him. Oh, hold on, are we attacking? We can't attack other dwarves, can we? Yeah, let's see if we can do this. Can we attack? You know what? I'm going to station them. That'll be enough. We don't have to do a direct attack. Probably should have locked that door. Dwarven children, man. They just go wherever they want. Here we go. And yeah, that was quick work. Easy. Probably should bring some more items than just one. Where's my gems at? Let's go to the bins. Do we have any cool earrings? No. They're all in the bins. Yeah, we'll take some gems. Are these cut? Yep, they're cut. Okay. I also know the value of those pretty well. Okay, so scrolling down, another layer is our farmer's lair. We have a lot of mushrooms growing. I think that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was tripping, right? We're talking about mushrooms here. But I saw a mushroom man pop up one day and just started running around in a previous fortress. Scared the crap out of me. But I think it spawned from having fungus on the floor. Gosh, they're always working. Look at all these masterpieces they're making. Great shoes. Always getting into fights. Okay, I have to pause the game. So much stuff happens if you don't pause the game. Okay? So I have to pause it, and then we can talk, and I can talk to you layer by layer a little bit here. So we have a few guilds here that I like to keep into close contact to what they're working with. So, you know, this is my farmers and my planters guilds. We have a little glass making factory, charcoal making factory, which isn't as active these days due to our alliance with the elves for their giant animals. Below that, we have a ranger guild. Another layer down here, I have a worthless train track that no one ever uses, catapults, and a siege shop, and our workshop with wood. Scrolling down another layer, just getting a little bit deeper here. This was originally our first meeting area. Now it's just a brewery / farming shop. Again, more siege components. Jeweler section. This is actually a stockpile that you want to try to set up your stockpiles for what you want later on. So this is specific to what I want to have encrusted with gems. So this is going to be like all your high quality stuff. So I don't take any low quality things. You'll see it's all like if we go into furniture, go to our quality, you'll see it's between exceptional and masterwork. Because I only want to put gems into those. Now, you could get really serious with it, and you should, and you can actually select what gem you want to put into what kind of piece of gear. Because, you know, you don't want to put your highest gem into a piece of chalk. You know, it'd be way cooler to have it into like a piece of gold furniture or platinum furniture crusted with gems. We have our clothing shop right here, leather worker stuff. Scroll down another layer here. This is our barracks, sectioned off for the archers up here, place to store gear. This is our hospital, which is right next to our barracks. And I'll tell you what, one thing about, I've had problems with humans in the past. They're tricky. They like to steal, is what I've noticed, as you know, as well as kobolds, but I haven't seen any kobolds in the area. But so what I did is I put all my artifacts, so that's named gear, I put it behind my barracks. So if they want to get any of my really cool stuff, you know, like look at this thing, like, ooh, right, perfect green zircon. If they want to get to it though, they got to go through my barracks. So good luck with that. We do have a water system that I set up. I'm not super great with water yet, so I kind of keep it simple. I just dug a channel and then brought it all the way down, And then I have a little water gate here with a lever here that's connected to it. I have this blocked off, and then if I need water, I can just pull that lever, and then that will open the gate, and that'll bring it into a pool down here. And then I have a ramp for my quarters here that'll help them get to the well. The well is also close to the hospital, so if anybody's hurt, they can bring buckets. These are all separated up for what is needed in a hospital, things like soap, buckets and things like that. Probably needs to be refilled a little bit here. I don't see any buckets in there. I really probably should go ahead and craft some more. Here's our quarters. Pretty generic. And we need to get a few things going here. We actually need a cabinet in that one. Cabinets allow your dwarves to store clothing. And if they have a messy room, it could make them upset. Depends on their threshold. Below that, we have some burial grounds, places for dwarf corpses. Dwarf fortress and dwarf corpses. So this is our dwarf corpses section. Our slabs where we go to put graves down. The graves are important. What happens is if you have like the death of a child dwarf or someone, that I don't know how it selects it, but you'll have ghosts occasionally appear from dead dwarves. And these ghosts can actually cause problems for your dwarf. So what you have is a stone crafter memorialize them on slab, and then you put the slab down, which then gets rid of the dwarf. Over here is some of my first guilds that I had set up for this fortress. As you play more and more and you go from fortress to fortress, you kind of experiment and try to figure things out a little bit here. So I thought I'm going to make this kind of more elaborate fortress, something where it's got some kind of hidden cubbies where they can privately talk. But you'll see they really don't do that. It's really more revolved around the podium, where they I don't know if I even have a podium down here. I thought I did. But I guess it's just more about having discussions and lectures. So there's not a lot of one-on-one stuff, I guess. I'm not sure. I'm still kind of figuring that aspect out. So I look at other people's fortresses, and they're so well designed and they look really cool. Not mine. Mine are all squares. And if I want to increase the value of a section, so for example, this is my king's tomb, and he wanted a really extravagant tomb. So what do? We just stuff it with gold statues. So we just have a bunch of gold statues to increase value wherever we need it. This up here is my dungeon. This is for bad dwarves. That's my dungeon master. What's he up to? You can see his below here. He was blissful after sleeping in a good bedroom. So see, things like that do affect your dwarves, and there's all kinds of other information you can get in here. Military. See how many kills he got. He had one kill. He killed a male raven. Interesting. See what kind of jobs he's doing. His skills, combat skills, personality. And if you really wanted to get expertise, really get into this game, you could really revolve all of your nobles, and again, you probably should. I don't, but you probably should. You can revolve all of your nobles around the personality traits that you need, right? So for a good broker, I need an appraiser. So if I scroll through here, I'm looking for an appraiser. Currently, I have an adequate or novice appraiser, I think. So it would be nice to find a better appraiser, but goodness, it's a kind of novice appraiser. That's not good. I need something better than that, and I don't think I have it. So we're 7 years into this, and I have a terrible appraiser. So it's all this stuff, novice liar. So all these things that I've crafted are things that I want to sell. I won't, I don't know if I'll be able to get the full value out of it. More quarters for my dwarves. A library. So I have my library has a scribe and a scholar. Looks like, let's see, bookcases 10, they have 4 tables, 16 chairs, written objects 11, total number each to scribe 2, chest in the common area. I don't have any chests, so let's put some chests down. I'm not sure what that'll do. It might just be one of those things where it's a place for them to store stuff for scribing, maybe. because I know they put the books in the bookcase. Let's roll another one down here. We are now like 5 or 6 layers down. This is my original strip mine. This is where I started getting iron initially. And so down here, it's evolved a little bit. I no longer have my smelters up here. I no longer have my metal crafters up here. But I do have my metal crafting guild up here. And I have my stone crafters guild up here as well. We have more armor stands than I know what to do with. Because my king basically is demanding armor stands nonstop. He has been ever since he's arrived. This could be because he's in a bad mood. So I started thinking of ways to maybe get his mood up. So, for example, I gave my king, let's see here, we go to items. Let's go to our creatures. Where's my king at? Ooh, elite marksman, nice. King, where are you at, man? Ah, king, why is he red? I don't understand sometimes. Okay. I did put my king in one of the armies. I put him in the army, I think it was this one here, the Trades and Mortifying. Let's see, groups. Yeah, Trades and Mortifying. So he's a badass king, dude. So I was looking at his needs, and he had a need where he was like martial training, right? So I figured he probably wants to get into fights, just because he's king. He's 140 years old. Ooh, he's old too. But just because he's a king doesn't mean he's dead. He wants to fight, So you got to keep him happy. Knowledge. He has natural history, social, combat, relations. Let's look at this overall. Let's look at personality. Here we go. Boundless creative imagination, great kinesthetic sense, great sense of empathy, good intellect. Ooh, a good feel for music. Poor ability to manage and understand social relationships. Okay, that's fine. I mean, he's a king. Poor spatial senses. I'm not sure I understand how that's going to affect him. He's always tense and jittery after being caught in the rain in 105. So let me tell you, if it's one thing I've learned from playing this fortress, and I've played about 6 or 7 now, like pretty far in. If it's one thing I've learned from this fortress is that, man, dwarves hate rain. And I have been trying to work outside and keep them covered. But goodness, like once they get wet, it's over. They're just pissed for the rest of their lives. I don't know why. All right, let's go back down. So we're kind of getting near the end of it. At this point, we're just going down to the lower depths. Let's see here. -10, so not terribly far down, but this is just an opening where I ran into a cave. And in this cave, there was just basically tons of high-quality jewels. Like here's some yellow jasper clusters that I haven't still gotten. And so I just started working my way through here and having my guys go in and just mine out some great jewels. These are a little bit higher up. These are lower down, so it's kind of a pain to get those up there. And so part of that is I have some weapon traps up here. These weapon traps are going to protect my fortress. Now, the problem with weapon traps is they're a little slow. So if you have a particularly fast creature, say like a forgotten beast, they may just run straight through this. But the goal there is that if you find a forgotten beast, you let him roll through here, and then just as he gets here, you go to your door and you make it where it's not passable. So then he kind of has to wallow between the weapon traps here, getting just sliced up by a bunch of spears. Have not gotten the opportunity to do that. Unfortunately, the first forgotten beast that came through here, I had a dwarf solo kill him. It was actually my my militia commander solo killed him like it was easy. So that was crazy. Usually they're pretty powerful. I mean, he was setting things on fire and stuff, and my dwarf protected himself with a shield against the fire. So let's keep going down. We're going to keep going down to the lowest points here. We're almost done, really. So this is -111. I'm kind of getting, I think the farthest down I can go, -123. So here is where we're hitting magma. That was the goal for digging this deep, is I wanted to get down to where the magma was so that I can set up my magma smelters. Now, guys, this is a section of the fortress that I'm not totally used to working with. It's a difficult area because it's so deep. Your dwarves are away from their families often. They don't get to socialize, especially early on, because they're so far away from everybody. And then just getting stuff down here, it takes forever. You know, you're looking at 120, depth, 160 even, plus in depth that they have to go down. So I made a bunch of wheelbarrows and stuff, but still, it takes a while. I bet some of these dwarves are probably pissed off. Let's see. Well, no, he seems okay. Lonely after being away from friends for too long. He hasn't been able to wander because I've probably been having him put to work all the time making iron bucklers for my king, who's constantly demanding those, or either iron pickaxes. Yep, pickaxes. Let's see how he's feeling. Yeah, so one step above that, I set some quarters up, especially early on, and I used this as a place to put some metal workers and miners, just so that they wouldn't have to travel as far if they wanted to go to sleep. And then I just put a dormitory in here, hoping that maybe dwarves that were tired would just come in here and relax and go to sleep. I don't see a whole lot of use of it. I put a meeting area up here. Oh, well, I had a meeting area up here. And yeah, these aren't active. I should probably activate those. The reason they're not active is I haven't specified what dwarves I want to put in there yet. And if you don't have specified dwarves, you might have a farmer that has a bed that's 120 depth. So I don't want that to happen. Let me go ahead and reactivate this meeting area. I put a meeting area in here, and I did not turn it into a tavern because I don't want outside visitors. And I know you can make it so that doesn't happen, but I didn't want to have to assign a tavern host and stuff like that. All right, so this is just a meeting area for now. I don't know if that necessarily means that they'll actually use it to go drinking at, or if they're going to prefer to go to the tavern that's many, many layers above. We are still digging at this depth. We're doing a lot of strip mining down here. My goal was hopefully to find more gold deposits. Gold is kind of rare. I'm not finding a lot of gold. I haven't found any gold down here. It seems like there's a depth where gold is optimal, and once you go past that and dig deeper, you don't see as much of it. Now I do have a gold mine as well, but down here, this is more just like an explorative mine for seeing what's going on. For example, what's going on in here. This is a really low cavern. I've not really explored it much. It's lots of mud, and I don't see a whole lot of gems down here, so it's I'm not sure if it's really worth the danger. Haven't even seen many forgotten beasts down here. Okay, so that's my fortress in a nutshell. Outside of that, we can look at the map. Now, this map is kind of small, and they don't let you export the map like they used to in the original version, which made it so that you could zoom in. So what I recommend is that you screenshot this, paste it into Paint, open it up and zoom in. But I know where everything is at, so we should be okay here. This is my fortress right here. This is where I started out. It's next to the forest. I like a fortress that has at least some iron deposits and a river and low aquifers. So that can be kind of challenging. This is a small world with or I think it's a smaller world with a small population. The history only was 100 years. It used to be 250, which I think I prefer 100 because the save file is a little smaller and things save a little bit sooner. On the east side in light blue, these are part of my civilization. These are dwarves that are economically linked to me, so they're part of my kingdom. Basically, they work for me, but they kind of do their own thing. They don't necessarily go to war, I don't think. I haven't seen anything about them going to war with anybody. So to the east is an alliance with some humans that we have, the Emanciated Empires, which doesn't sound very healthy if you ask me, but we're friends anyways. They are at war with the elves. I'm currently at peace with the elves, but I am open to going to war with them possibly soon. The reason I'm not is I like the giant creatures that they bring to me in trades, but I hate dealing with all these giant birds. So so I kind of want to burn down my own forest and just shred it all. But if I do that, I'm going to piss off the elves and have to go to war with them anyways. So my thought process is that, well, according to the news and rumors, the humans have been going to war with the elves for a couple of years now. I would actually say for many years. And so, they're wearing them out. And the humans don't have a problem with us. So I'm just going to keep milking the elves for their giant creatures and trying to make a giant creature army. And then maybe at some point we'll go to war with them and try to clean them out. And then at that point we'll take the goblins to the east, and then we'll kind of do some world conquering conquest or something possibly at that point. I'm not sure yet. So currently, let's see. Do we have any reports, any missions? I don't have any missions out. My last mission was to a goblin area, I think it was, where we just stole something and came back. It wasn't even anything worthwhile, I don't believe. If we go to the reports, whoops, wrong one. Yeah, we stole a silver ball, a spiked silver ball, and a leather backpack. But that was just kind of a scout to see what that was going to be like. The reason I'm a little cautious about sending entire armies out against people these days is I've had it bite me in the butt too many times where I send out a giant army and then I get raided. So currently I'm trying to train up my trades of mortifying. This is a relatively new one. And these are going to be one of my bigger armies with the king in it. Yep, I know. It's a risk, but I think it'll be fun. So we're going to have the king, and we're going to have my first army. These are going to be my primary armies that I'm going to deploy. But currently, we are working on getting full steel equipment. Everybody should have steel weapons at this point, I would believe. Yeah, steel short swords. Unless they become particularly attached. Steel warhammer, great. Steel short sword. Okay. So they have equipped themselves with steel gear. That's really good. I'm working on getting their training up, and then once their training's done, we're going to consider making some deployments. So that is my Fortress of the Fencepalms, guys. Again, this is the first video I've done in a long time, so I'm pretty rusty at this, and I really hate video editing, so you're getting a rough cut, guys. I'm sorry if the videos go long or whatever. If you like it, let me know. If you want to see more content, great. But I'll tell you what, there's just a lot of stuff you can't find on the Dwarf Fortress Wiki that you have to figure out on your own. So if you saw something something that I don't, please comment, let me know. Give me some input, give me some advice. And if you guys enjoyed this, possibly I'll see you again. All right.